Hey everyone, Happy New Year. The numbers are in for Grand Panama Beach Resort in Panama City Beach. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group over at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. It's still a very, very intense real estate market. I'm amazed on the fifth day of the year what's happened already just this week. What I'll show you here, what happened at the end of December. So I'm going to get a little bit into the weeds today and geek out on the data a little bit. I'm going to show you guys some numbers, hopefully so that you can understand just how intense this market is, so it can help you make some decisions depending on what it is you want to do in real estate. And before we start, I just want you to take a moment or two to think back to 2008 and think about what was happening in real estate then. If you were doing any real estate business or owned real estate at the time, or had friends and family that were buying and selling or enduring that market, I just want you to remember that and to point out that markets like the one we're in don't last forever. This one feels like it may never end. We've been going easily a year and a half, maybe a year and 7 or 8 months now in a very, very intense market. So I want to go through some of these numbers to specifically point out just how intense it is. I think a lot of times we get desensitized to some things. It's almost just feels normal that this is just how real estate goes. This is just how real estate is. Well, it is how it goes right now, but things can change. And sometimes things can change very quickly in a condo market. It's not like traditional residential. Second homes and investments for people can be more volatile when things change nationally in the economy, globally in the economy, locally, what have you. So hopefully some of these numbers will help you understand where we are in the market today. Last year in Grand Panama, we actually had 13% more choices for buyers, meaning there were 13% more units that came up available for sale to buy. There were 67 in 2021. The year before, there had been 59. The next column that's really most important to pay attention to is the number of units sold. We sold 59, up 28% from the year before of 46. When you think about 59 to 46, that doesn't sound like a big number. That's only a little more than one condo per month that we sold. But think about it in terms of percentages. Real estate has always generally been a slower moving thing. And to sell 28% more of something year over year is a pretty big jump. Even more of a jump, look at this, 28% more units sold. We sold 13 more individual condos. We sold 75% more volume because of this massive price appreciation we saw. On average, and the averages don't even tell the whole story here, but on average, we were up 36% on the average sales price in Grand Panama last year. That's, I mean, really, 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 really dramatic. We just don't see markets like that year after year after year after year. For those of you, most of you have seen this videos like this from me before, and you know that I like this chart for a couple reasons. Let's revisit it to really think about it from the terms of a buyer for a second. This represents the entire Gulf front market, and then we're going to get specifically into Grand Panama pricing. But the red line represents the number of units for sale at any given point. And so here's the beginning of the pandemic right here. If you're a buyer and made a conscious decision right after the pandemic hit that you were going to buy a condo, month over month over month, if you hadn't bought something, if you kept missing out on opportunities, you had fewer and fewer and fewer choices all the way to April of last year. Over a year of walking into this mega condo store, and all of a sudden the shelves are a little more empty and a little more empty and a little more empty, and you're really trying to buy something. It really put a lot of pressure on buyers. That's what's been driving prices up. That's when you're hearing all these stories of multiple offers very quickly, all of that. From April to August, look at what happened. We saw just the opposite, and the market softened a little bit, and it softened pretty quickly. Buyers had more choices through the summer. Didn't feel like it, but they did. But look at what happened. As soon as the end of rental season happened, and this is something to pay attention to just year after year after year, all of a sudden people were buying again, and there's less choice again. And think about why that's happening. Right here in the heat of the summer, it's hard to get in for a buyer to really look and assess or decide and compare what units they want to buy because everything's so rented, especially in the better buildings. If you're trying to pick between even 3 or 4 units, much less 6, 7, 8 units, you can't see all those in one trip. Most of the time you can only get in and look at these things when they're not rented, which is like on a Saturday, and you just physically can't do it. It becomes frustrating. So people just generally take some time off and delay the purchase. Plus, buyers are also enjoying the summertime with their families, taking trips, things like that. So it's not surprising to see that kind of trend. Look at what happens on this months of inventory. For those of you, again, who haven't heard my spiel on months of inventory, it's a very important number to understand when you're looking at the condo market. 5 or 6 months of inventory has always traditionally been a normal number for real estate. The theory is seller calls the real estate office, we get the marketing going, we arrange for showings, we negotiate contracts, we work through getting to contract, working through closing, get to closing. That whole process normally would take us about 5 or 6 months. I sort of contend that's 4 or 5 months now because it doesn't take us 30 days to get marketing going anymore. Look at where we are. Even at our softest point, when this red line ran up, we had more inventory back in August. The softest the entire condo market got was 2.53 months of inventory, meaning we slowed down to still a very healthy seller's market. Since then, we're back down to 1.15 months of inventory. That's just that would theoretically mean that we would sell out of all of our condos in 1 month, just over a month, if nothing else came up on the market. When you look at Grand Panama specifically, the same chart, same information, looks the same idea. Beginning of the pandemic, all of a sudden less and less and less inventory, maybe a slight increase over that same time here, but again, back down to very low inventory levels. You can see where at most Grand Panama slowed down to, it jumped up to 9 months in September, but look, very quickly you can see that was just a little bit of an anomaly. We're now hovering at 0.83 months of inventory, 1.67 months of inventory. Still a very, very, very healthy seller's market in Grand Panama. To go back, what we're looking at here are some numbers since December 1st of last year. Just go through some pricing with you to see some specifics. A 1-bedroom over in Tower 2, asking price was $369,900. It's now under contract. Not sure what the final sales price is yet, but very generally speaking, we're not seeing a ton of negotiation off of asking prices. Another 1-bedroom, this one is also in Tower 2, asking price $379,900. Tower 2, 2-bedroom has closed at $440,000. We've had one on a Gulf front unit close at $510,000. Another one, asking price was $510,000. It's under contract. Another one sold at $519,000. We get into some 3-bedrooms now. On the north side, there's one asking $550,000. It's under contract. Gulf side asking $559,000. It's under contract. Sorry, this is a 3-bedroom on the north side. Another 2-bedroom, a couple more 2-bedrooms on the Gulf side. $575,000 was the asking price. It's under contract. $580,000 is the asking price. It's under contract. And we only have a few that are really on the market. One of the 2-bedrooms on the Gulf side asking $600,000. We're finally testing that $600,000 number. A 3-bedroom asking $675,000 is under contract. And one of the penthouses, we're over on Tower 2. One of the 4-bedrooms is asking $899,000. Look at this from a buyer perspective for a second. Let's just look at what's for sale or active. If I want to buy in Grand Panama right now, I have one choice at $600,000. I have one choice at $899,000, and that's all. If you're thinking about selling in 2022, I would tell you to think about a couple of things. If you're thinking about, a few things. Most people still think that I'm going to wait until the weather's a little nicer and sell during beach season. What we just looked at in that chart, remember, is that a lot of times high season is the time where we're selling the fewest amount of condos. We may do some closings through there, but we're selling many more condos on the fringe parts of the season. Think about why. Experienced condo owners and buyers know that that the fiscal year, all the money starts to roll in on March 1st. It's the beginning of rental season. So they're shopping now. They've already been shopping November, December, so they can have a closing, get their rental management set up, their website set up, any changes to the units set up, what have you, and get ready for March 1. So if you're thinking about taking advantage of the spring market, it's like the perfect storm right now. You have no competition. You can almost set your price because you're going to have the closer we get to in season, the more the emotions wrap up with buyers and they get more emotional about a purchase and they'll stretch and pay a little bit more. So this is the time of year. If you're thinking about selling in the spring, get your unit on the market now. It's still going to take a few days to get videos and photography and websites built and all the things that we do ready. Do that. Price aggressively. Let the market work in your favor. Like I said, the next 60 to 90 days, buyers are getting more and more emotional about having that place at the beach, starting their rental business. Plenty of them may not be in town right now, but if you have marketing up where they can see that you're for sale, you're getting on those lists. So think about getting your market going sooner rather than later. And again, be aggressive. You have to have a plan to be able to set record pricing. If you're going to try to price, and you deserve to be priced above all the recent activity, you have to have a plan to be able to get that to closing, which we do, but just make sure you have that in place. If you're thinking about selling in the fall and watching what happens getting through another rental season, same idea. Start your marketing in June or July. A lot of people are already researching and planning for when they come down September, October to really evaluate things. It's better to be out there in advance. You may not actually be seen a lot if you're heavily rented. That's okay. Let your marketing do the work. There are probably some more risks involved in waiting till later in the year, just because we think interest rates are going to continue to creep up. The natural risks of what could happen in the economy, depending on what you think may happen in the economy. If we see something in the stock market, if the stock market really went the other direction very quickly, that would put pressure on demand. Obviously, some people would be nervous about buying a condo and might pump the brakes on that. If we see a lot of units come up for sale this year, that's more competition for sellers. That could kind of slow things down a little bit. But over the short term, it's still a really excellent time to be thinking about selling. If you're a buyer in this market, make sure you're offering aggressive on something that you really want. The market is not working in your favor right now. I know most of you watching this are already on our e-alert system. If you're not or know someone that wants to be on our e-alert system, let me know. Again, remember the e-alert system will send you an email anytime a unit comes up for sale, changes price, goes under contract, or sells. And it'll be the accurate sales price straight out of the realtor system, accurate sales date. And you'll be able to click on the photos and see everything. And so it's a really good way to accurately keep up with the market. Text me 850-527-0221 if you want to be set up for that. In the meantime, I know it's a lot of data, but I just hope you guys remember a couple things. The market is still very good currently, even though we're only on January 5th. It's very, very busy out there. Great markets don't last forever. So make your decisions accordingly. Happy New Year. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this helps you, and we'll be back in touch next month. Thanks for watching.